Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 23, Holt, Her Accountable. Messy ass Mel, because she being messy. She being messy. She brought a drug test for Kiki. And Amin is automatically like, you ain't got to prove nothing to them. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. Kiki, she wants Marceau to take a lie detector test. And then she'll agree to take a drug test. And Mel and Amin, they both are like, you know, he not finna take no lie detector test. So I guess you not taking the drug test. Mel thinks that she should shut him up though. It's just like, I just don't understand. Like, shut him up. Go ahead and take it and prove that you're clean and sober. And what else? What would he have to say when he's shut down with a negative drug test? What can he say? Absolutely nothing. And so she's like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go on and do it. So Kiki goes to the bathroom and the results are negative. She is negative all across the board because, you know, it tests you for every drug under the sun. And it's negative. So she's clean and sober. Listen, she proved us all wrong. She proved us all wrong because you couldn't have told me that she hadn't relapsed. And so I'm glad that the test was negative. Good for you, Kiki. Mel changes the subject to, you know, their move. And she's like, you know, y'all are moving. You know, she's asking why they're moving. And they share, you know, that it's basically for their son. So he has a better opportunity for a scholarship, basically, for an athletic scholarship. And she says, you know what, Tiffany, she was talking to me and she mentioned your son was moving to another school in another district. And Tiffany was on some Karen stuff, so how are they going to be able to prove that they live in this district? Ain't no way in the world Tiffany didn't say that. Tiffany absolutely pulled a Karen. I know her tone was on some, oh, her son's going there? Can they prove that they live there? Like, how's that gonna work? All in them people business, worrying about their address. She the type that'll report you too. Absolutely. Her white side kicking in. She on some Karen shit. I need you to mind your business, Tiffany. Don't worry about where them people live. Don't worry about where their kids going to school. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Anyway, Tisha and Marceau, they're going on a family vacation. The trip is going to be 5 days. Marceau automatically is like, 5 days? I can't be going that long with y'all. She's like, but I told you a long time ago. He started talking about all this stuff work related. But he said Marceau act like he got to get back. Anyway, we flip to the barbecue. We gotta talk about the barbecue. Marceau really doesn't feel good about how he behaved. Tisha don't want him to blame himself. You know, she blames it all on Kiki. It's all Kiki's fault. And she's done with her. Period. As for Marceau and Stormy, they squashed their beef, you know, whatever it was. They shook hands and all of that. Marceau, he shares with her that, you know, that he basically had to drop the act. You know, I was giving her a lot, and then she started crying and she stepped to the side. That was emotional. Those were real emotions, and so he had to check in with her and make sure she understood that he didn't intend to hurt her and that he understands her and that, you know, I see you, girl. I see you. So Marceau he shared in a human experience as well. You know, normally he doesn't, but he dropped the act just for a moment, Tisha, she starts talking about her relationship with Kiki because Marceau, with all of this, Marceau really wants her to get to a better place with her. He still wants Tisha to try. He said he loved Kiki. He's more so hurt than anything that this is happening between them, because he loves her, and he wants Kiki and Tisha's relationship to be in a better place. Knowing that Stormy was going through that with her best friend, that made him think about Kiki and Tisha's relationship. Tisha is talking, and while she's talking, Marceau started talking under his breath. You know how you be in folks' amen going like, yeah, He's doing that, but then adding 2 cents after everything she's saying. So she says, I'm a type of person that is accountable for things, and then he's like, not always. Didn't I say I was doing a video?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
You did know that.
All right. Did not know.
Anyway, they always throw me off when they do that. I be in a whole fucking thought, and here comes somebody. Oh, Tisha's talking, and he's adding his 2 cents. Oh, you're not always accountable. Not all the time. Sometimes you can do better. He just all under his breath. And then of course she hears him. He's like, oh, I said that out loud? Yeah, you said it out loud. He tells her she could be more accountable. With the conversation about the Black Expo, the town hall meeting and all of that, he felt like she was very defensive when it came to the feedback that she got from Mel, and she was. But it's just funny how he want to come to Mel's defense. You know how your wife feel about Mel. You be trying it. See, that's what Mel said. You are the reason for the discord. You're the reason, because you go home and praise me in front of her, knowing how she feels. He's a piece of work. She was defensive, but they have a little back and forth, because then she gets defensive, of course, again, because she's like, wait a minute, I wasn't defensive. Now you're being defensive. She ends up, she's gonna just go ahead and accept accountability. Let's move on. Mel, she and her event planner are planning a name change ceremony for Mel. She's having a whole party for changing her last name from Holt back to Rogers. Her mom also drops in, and so they're going to transform the backyard. She says she's inviting about 25 people. She wants security there, 2 security officers, because Martell might show up. More than likely, he going to probably show up. The theme is Take Me Back to Rogers. The planner, while she goes outside and gets some pictures, Mel shares that she got a letter from the probate court about it's the decision whether or not they granted her the name change. She hadn't opened it, and she and her mom sit there, and she opens it and she reads it, and they granted it. So she is now Melody Cherie Rogers, and that's just that. Her mama crying, of course. Her mama crying, of course. I'm just so proud of you. She free. Melody is free. That was it. That really that closed the door. The door is closed. Stormy, she drops in on Kiki. She's gonna check in on her after the barbecue. Stormy gets straight to the point. Like, girl, the barbecue. Kiki demonstrates again what triggered her, and it was Tisha just ignoring her and not speaking to her. And then she's talking about Marceau, and she misgenders him. Now he's a her. Now she's just referring to him as her, and she called him her wife and all of that. Kiki over there just talking shit, and Stormy just over there like, what, girl? Wow. Oh, really? Anyway, Kiki, she feels like she just wishes she didn't care so much for Tisha. Then she probably wouldn't get this emotionally triggered by certain things that Tisha does. Stormy tells her, of course, when you left, the conversation continued. Marceau brought up you possibly being high at the barbecue, and that being the reason why you know, flipped the drink or threw a drink on Tisha. And Kiki, she actually thought that she was gonna come to the barbecue and get into it with Tiffany. Tiffany wasn't even there. Tiffany showed up late because Tiffany was out doing interviews with Carlos King, just really being elitist, you know, like she's above it, you know, like I would never be friends with her. Her? No. That's Tiffany's tone. Kiki just laughed. You know, she said, girl, I laughed at that interview. She was like, didn't you give her some of your products? Yeah, she around here talking about your products, talking about the ingredients are harmful and all of that. So Stormy, she didn't bite the bait. She brought it straight back to you, Kiki, because it's about you. Don't be trying to throw me in there too. Like we finna, you know, it's finna be. I'm like she's just about to jump on the Tiffany hate train because Stormy's pretty much trying to form her own opinions of everyone. But she don't understand why Tiffany's going this hard. Like why she's making it a point to always shade Kiki. She always has something negative to say about her or to her. We just don't understand. Anyway, Mel, she invited Tisha and Kimmy to work out with her trainer. Tisha's energy is off. She don't want to be there with Melody. She absolutely don't want to be there. They do the workout with the instructor, whatever. Kimmy, she enjoyed it. She needs it because she's been having dealing with a little bit of respiratory problems, like breathing problems after the chemotherapy, and so she went to the doctor and did some tests, and she failed them all. You know how you blow in the thing, and they want to see how far it goes up and all of that. And so she has that at home, I'm sure, to practice with to build it back up. But they telling her it's not gonna get better, and she's like, the devil is a lie. And I'm saying the same. Sometimes you got to say that to the doctor. You know, it's like, okay, I hear you, but no. Do you know who my God is? If you did, you wouldn't be telling me that this is the impossible. Not my God. Okay. Anyway, Kimmy's hopeful. The breathing gonna be breathing. She ain't gonna have no shortness of breath. No, none of that. It's not gonna be none of that. Healed in Jesus' name. Anyway, they check in with Tisha. You know, how you doing after the barbecue? How's everything going? Tisha says that this what happened with her and Kiki is like the theme of their relationship. It's always been this way, always been kind of tumultuous, you know, since they were teenagers. And she just don't want that type of lifestyle around her. You know, she said when you mix a person who doesn't have anything to lose with drugs, you know, it's dangerous. And they're just listening, and Mel is like, so you feel like she's still on drugs? Because, you know, Mel done did the test. She's like, so you feel like she's still on drugs? And she's like, oh yeah, I know it. Family members have called, and you know, she asking for money. I just know the signs. And Tisha, Mel is like, are you sure there wasn't anything that like transpired before the barbecue that would have like set this off? And Tisha's like, you know what? I'm about to go. So she's shutting down. She's not even finna bring up what's been said about Marceau and that being like the at the root of it all. Mel shares that she spoke with Kiki. She's like, you know, I spoke with Kiki. And when she begins to share, you know, what was said, Tisha gets up, you know, like, you know, I'm leaving. She's just gonna leave. She's not talking about it. She said, I'm not talking about this shit no more. I'm going to the beach. Okay, bye, girl. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. Martell drops by Nell's house. He brings over a couple of the Inez bottles for them. They're throwing a dinner party or whatever. They sit on the porch and talk. Nell brings up Mel, you know, the fact that she didn't speak to him. And he says, you know, he don't understand because they speak everywhere else. Really, Martell? He's so full of shit. That girl is not speaking to you. Y'all speak everywhere else. When? As to say, oh, off camera we good. It's only when the camera start rolling that she try to act like she mad. Yeah, Martell, we believe you. We believe everything you say. Anyway, he said he not tripping. Nell, she brings up Mel changing her name or whatever. And he says, you know what? And it was written all over his face. He hurt about it. He hurt. He feel away. He absolutely feels away. But he says it's the realization of it all for him. Like that's really real. Like she changed her name back to Rogers. Like that's that. Um, he want to know the guest list though, cause she says that she gonna be there. He like, I want to know the guest list. I want to know which one of my friends gonna be up in there. What? None of your friends gonna be there. You just so happen to be friends with both. Y'all share friendship with Nell and her husband Chris, but you gotta know her loyalty is gonna be with Mel. You gotta know that. Like Chris ain't gonna be there, or maybe he is, but I don't think. I think this is a women only type of event, and so I don't think Chris gonna be there. So you got Chris, calm down. He was really like trying to check her loyalty. His feelings hurt. He don't think the Fletchers should be around there. He don't think they should attend. Nell gets defensive because you're not about to tell me where I can and can't go. I'm going to the party, and you gonna be all right with it, and you not gonna hold it against me. We're not doing that. He thinks that it's them rubbing it in his face. Ain't nobody rubbing nothing up in your face. And she's like, well, I mean, I could say that you rubbed your affair in her face. And he say she had an affair first. And did she tell you that? No, she didn't. He like, ask her with multiple men. So we back on this. He is just something else. Nell say she gonna ask her. She said, I can't believe that, but and I'll ask her. I will ask her about it. And if she denies it, then he says that he'll come with receipts. You should have been did that because you've been saying this and you always talking about you got receipts. Where? You lying. Anyway, he thinks Nell and Chris should pick a side. They're not. Until next time, let me get on with the next review. It's gonna be a busy day of reviews today. I'm excited though because I've been waiting on Married to Medicine and Potomac to come bike. So we bike. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.